Hello there. Um, I'm just getting ready for Michelle. I thought what I'd do. Michelle, her train was a bit late, so I thought I would start by talking about Michelle, and then if anyone has any questions already for Michelle, I can start getting them out. I've had a few on Instagram. I'll check if I had any more. Um, Also going to check that I'm ready for Michelle when she comes on. Cool. Nice. Well, I feel like if anyone doesn't know who Michelle is, I struggle to describe her music because I know it's kind of cliche to say that music is original, but I don't know a lot of artists that make the kind of music that she does. And I remember the first time I ever heard her, like the first thing that struck me was her voice. It's got this like drama to it that I don't know. I just haven't heard since like. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the drama that Ian Curtis got, like, but with these like haunting kind of elements to a voice that I don't know. Because Ian Curtis, I wouldn't call him really like, much of a singer. That's a bit unfair, maybe. But Michelle really has this like incredible range, both emotionally and just like technically, that I've just not heard anyone else's voice. And the way that she makes music, it's just I find it completely unique and difficult to talk about. So I thought it'd be nice to actually find out how she makes the music, because we've spoken before, but not in a public domain, and but we've never actually talked about each individual's kind of creative process and how I don't know how we actually get from an idea to the finished song. Um, and I guess like our music has crossovers, like in we both make pretty dramatic music. I guess it's both. There's a pop element to it, but also pretty different. I feel like one big difference is that you can definitely dance to some of Michelle's music, whereas I don't think anyone could ever dance to mine. Um, I also think we come from completely different perspectives in terms of writing. Oh, I think she might be joining now. Um, is that her? No. So, for anyone watching, do you have any questions to ask Michelle? I'm going to double check again on Instagram. Oh, yeah, there's a few more. Could be anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be about the creative process. It could be anything that you want to know about Michelle, or me, I guess. But mainly Michelle's the star here. What have we got? Oh. Oh wow, there's lots coming in. Yeah, if you want to chuck them in the chat, either the Twitch chat or the YouTube chat as well. Anyone that's just joining, welcome. As I said, Michelle is, her train was late. She lives in London. Trains love being late. Oh wow. There's more questions coming in. Well, I guess I can answer some questions that are kind of for me about Michelle. So let me just double check that she's not on yet. Yeah, so someone has asked me what was the first song of hers that I ever heard. I'm pretty sure it was Lemonade. Yeah. No, it definitely was. I remember seeing the video. I was like blown away by it. And then kind of went down like a little spiral of listening to her music. But yeah, it was definitely Lemonade. Probably, I mean, it's not been out long. What was the next one? Look. No, it wasn't Lemonade. It was White Lies, Red Wine. And then I watched the video. That was the first video I saw was Lemonade. But yeah, White Lies, Red Wine. And I think it was originally because... Oh, I'm just checking. Oh, someone just said that I keep going out of focus. I keep putting the phone in focus. Idiot. Cool. So yeah, that answers that question, I guess. We do have, I just seen someone's asked, we do have trains in Mallorca. Yeah. I don't think a lot of people really get trains. That's a lie. I'm making that up based on nothing. We do have trains in Mallorca. I used to get a train when I hired a little space to make music. Goes from Palma to Manacor. I'm out of my depth. I know we definitely have trains. Trains exist. I think my audio is going a bit funny. Where did you get a train trying to find my feet? If you're still there. Let's see if there's any other questions. See if Michelle's messaged as well. Someone's asked me to do a cover of one of her songs. That feels like intense. Well, number one, it would be a faff around. And number two, I feel like I would absolutely annihilate one of her songs without learning it first. But maybe next time. Or I'll do a version. What song do you think I should do a cover of? Jess. I think your name was Jess. From Moorgate to Bowes Park. Oh, nice. Bowes Park. North London. Is that classic for you? By the way, I'm really into your reflective title tag, Twitch tag. I'm gonna keep looking. This is maybe boring for some people. I mean, it is, but we're all waiting for the main event. I've got a feeling it's not going to be seamless either when she does join, because I mean, if you've watched any of my previous live streams, I have the technical know-how of a sort of hurt dove, you know. But yeah, any other questions you have? Have you just got off a train? Did you just get off a train? Oh, I know. Trying to find my feet did. Moorgate to Post Park. Classic. It's hot, isn't it? I mean, it's hot here. I think Michelle said it was hot earlier on. In London. That's where she is. Oh, another question. Okay. Well, I guess I can. I mean, I'll answer him as if I'm Michelle for a twist. Here we go. Oh, I think she's just joined. 1 second. Hey, I can. Hello, we're here. How's it going? Yeah, we are live. How's it going? It's hot in London, right? Do you say? Yeah, I'm very. Yeah. Shh. Oh, nice. Can we know anything about it? I think it's. It sounds like maybe. Did you open the Twitch link? Oh, cool. Yeah, I think I could just hear us coming back through through your speaker.
Song. Um, like how sessions always run over. So he thought it'd be 4 hours, but it wound up being like 5.5. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And imagine originally I was gonna say maybe we could just do 3 hours. You always need more than you think you're gonna need.
Yeah,
But
100%.
so yeah, that's what I've been doing. And it was so hot in the studio as well. Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, I feel like it's suddenly over here. It's just suddenly got well warm, and I can't. I don't know. I just don't function well in the heat when making music.
It was a lot. And basically, like, how obviously you're in the like it was a booth, but it was kind of like make sure you had like these curtains around it. So it was obviously trapping all the heat in. I was like, fucking hell. But obviously, there's no other way because you don't want to pick up sounds. We couldn't open the window because it was a super sensitive microphone.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a Neumann microphone. For anyone watching who doesn't know, Neumann is like top of the range.
yeah,
So it's a stunning microphone. It picked up my vocals so beautifully. But it's one of those where you can't have the window open because it will just pick up all any like even a bird chirping on a faraway tree is going to pick it up. So I was just there, melt suffering for my art.
Um,
But how is it in Spain? How are you?
it's hot. Like if I'm sweating, and I've got a fan on right behind my head that I'm hopefully covering like the mic from. So if you can hear background noises, it's that. But no, I'm doing good. Just I'm filming a music video on Saturday, so
Mm.
that's pretty exciting. In the
For
middle
what
of it
song?
for you, um, the one that just came
Mm.
out a couple of weeks ago. But we just had to delay the filming of the video.
Yeah, how's that doing? How's the song doing?
It's going all right. It's going all right. I think
Yeah.
it's the first like love song that I've released in a while, and I feel like people seem to respond well to love songs.
Mm. Mm.
But
Oh, so you've got the video all planned out. Where are you filming it?
um, it's in like a big open space, essentially. I'm trying. I don't
Oh,
want to, but yeah, it's kind of like it's the most people I've had in a music video. That's like
okay.
feels like the most exciting thing about it.
Oh.
Um,
Sorry, let me close down all these apps on my phone. Um, yeah, I am gonna do a video for this song as well, the one that is the next single that I've just been like recording the vocal for today.
oh,
I'm
nice.
gonna do a video for that as well, and it's gonna be a lot more collaborative than my previous videos because obviously, like, as I've said in every single fucking post, because I need people to know how much blood, sweat, and tears went into it. I feel like I'm a broken record. I'm like, having done everything myself, having done everything myself. That's why I say in every post about Black Lisa, because that video nearly fucking killed me. It was one of those where like there was nothing of me left after I'd done that video. I had nothing left to give. It was just like exhausted beyond. I've never been more exhausted. Like even through school, like from a very academic background, like exam led background, I've never ever like given more of myself physically than I gave to that video. And it's one of them where I'm super proud of it, and thank God like it did what it did in regards to like views and response and starting to like get me supporters and stuff, because that's made it well worthwhile. But you know, even when like I finished it and kind of put it to bed from a perspective of it was ready to come out, I was like, yeah, I can't do that again, like on my own. So this next video, obviously we're always trying to level up, bitch. So this next video, I want it to be just as good as Black Lolita, if not better. And it's going to be more collaborative. Like I'm going to involve more people because I do love collaboration. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not that I'm like, you know, a greedy bitch or whatever. Sorry, I don't know if I can swear, but it's just like, it was necessity. Yeah, it was like, it's necessity, isn't it? You kind of do what you have to do. It was like, I guess I'm on my own, you know, so I'll do it on my own. But you know, I'm an artist, so I very much love collaborating with people and stuff. So I look forward to this video for this next single being like more collaborative. Do you know what I mean? And just having someone else to help shoulder that burden, so I'm not like, you know, wanting to hold my body off a bridge, basically.
Do you get that? Because I remember when we first like got in touch, I assumed you had some team around you. Like, even after seeing, like, I think someone asked just before you came on, had a couple of questions that were like, what was the first like song that I heard of yours? And I said that the first video that I'd seen was Lemonade, and seeing that video I thought, wow, like she must have a team like behind her, and just assumed like, and I guess a lot of people must assume artists have this big network of people, and for most people it's not the case, and it's just like it takes lots of time, your own investment of money, like it's just
yeah, no, absolutely. And that's the thing, like I hear that all the time. Like, you're not the first person who said that to me. Hopefully, I do want to say hopefully you'll be one of the last, because I'm praying that I have a team come on board soon. But yeah, like definitely, but you know, everyone up until this point, or every other person up until this point, assumes that, you know, there's management there, or a label there, or PR there, or an agent. Or I am literally, when I say a one-woman band, not even a lawyer, like literally a one-woman band. And it's bittersweet when people say that, because on one side of the coin, it's like, okay, Michelle, so your stuff has got to be of a certain standard or competitive to where people would think, you know, your stuff has got to look pro enough and polished enough to where people would think, oh yeah, she's got someone, at least a lawyer on board or manager on board. But then on the other side of that same coin is like, if only I did, you know what I mean? Like, how much more could I then do, and how much more progress could I then make? So it's like both a massive compliment and like a sucker punch to the gut every time I hear it. But yeah, no, for so many artists, like, you know, and I remember like years ago now, a producer that I work with quite closely, a guy called Cy Holbert, he said, you know, don't expect, even when you do get management, as you undoubtedly will at some point, Michelle, don't expect them to wave a magic wand. And it's true, like no one's got that magic wand at all. Obviously, like there are figures and industry people that can come into your life who are well connected and well placed, and can definitely, if you've got a good product as like you do, and I like to think I do, they can help accelerate things. But yeah, it's really like, I don't know, I thought about it recently. It's just like you're the magic kind of thing. Like I stopped looking for someone else to have a magic wand when I realized that I was the magic. I thought of that recently, but it sounded better. It was like better phrased. But that's what it is. It still all starts from you. Do you know what I mean? Kind of thing. So, yeah.
No, I think it's true, and I guess like a lot that. I guess people love the idea of these like overnight successes like that happen, but it's pretty rare. And even the people that have like overnight successes, there's normally like a whole bunch of work that's gone in, and then just something's picked up. Like, and
right.
So yeah, I think it is true. Like even bands or friends that I have that like are signed to major labels have a whole team of people. It can still like not be, you know, it can still flop or like just take its time.
Honestly,
no, I like that, but
it's true. I always think that someone blowing up is like, you know, that, as you said, you know, they'll have done all this stuff and then it's just one thing that takes off. Really, it's like that moment of takeoff, or of something going viral, or like a TikTok phenomenon or whatever. It's like when everything just culminates. It's just that's basically the boiling pot just reaching. That's the saucepan reaching boiling point. But a saucepan that's been simmering. That's literally it, just reaching boiling point. And that's what people say is the taking off, or he exploded, or caught on, or viral, whatever, you know, other like phrase you want to attach to it. That's all it is. It's not that the person's just entered the kitchen. It's literally, you're literally just seeing the water spilling over the edges of the saucepan, which has been on the boil for however long it's been on the boil for, you know.
Yeah. No, it's like I guess it is just like it must be frustrating for you because, like you say, on the one hand, the fact that people assume you've got this huge team around you is like a compliment, but then it's also like I feel like people don't see all of the. And you say you're like a broken record, but I think you have a good balance of like of just being honest. Like I feel like sometimes as an artist you have to pretend that like it's not difficult, or that you have to be grateful all the time that you get to be an artist. And I think that like actually being honest, that a lot of the times it's really like painful, like stressful. Like I think it's good that you show it, you know, because I don't think enough artists are honest.
Someone else said that to me, actually. Someone else commented on my post. It was a Facebook post a while ago, on my personal Facebook page, incidentally, and they were like, no one ever talks about the hard times. And it's true. I think especially like in the age, you know, whatever you want to call it, of social media, where just in general, you know, even if you're not a creative, even if you're not an artist, there's like this pressure, both externally applied and internally applied, from self-applied, to be like, appear like you have all your shit together and like everything's like, no one wants to come off like their insides don't look pretty or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So there's that whole thing of trying to appear like you have it together 100% all the time, when more times than not, especially like I'm sure you'll agree as an artist, particularly when you are independent, which we both have experience of, it's like really what people are seeing is the swan, like seemingly gliding on the surface, but underneath the feet are going like that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
No, I love
but people just see the swan. So when someone sees like the video for Black Lolita, or like any of the, oh my God, stunningly beautiful stuff you release, like sonically and visually, that's like the swan on top of the lake, but underneath is just trying to, like, you know, his little feet going mad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're very fortunate to be signed and stuff.
I do feel like, and we've talked about it a lot, like off of live stream, about like, I don't know, the differences that there is between being like signed and unsigned, and the similarities as well. But I feel super grateful, like, because I'm able to get support to help, at least, like, I mean, I've done so many music videos now for this like album. I feel like but if I was completely alone and didn't have any support financially, or, you know, just even someone to talk to, I'd struggle, like, I think. And also, like, yeah, I just think it's sometimes just having a label attached to you just makes you feel a bit more safe, I think.
Yeah, and like secure. And sorry, 1 second. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to see who's on. Trying to see who's on the live stream. Where can I see?
It depends. If there's a few on Twitch, and there is a few, but you can't see like who exactly is on unless they say something.
Oh, okay. Where does it show the number? Directly under the video?
Yeah, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Okay. Well, hopefully people, let me do like a little quick post to
Yeah. Oh, well, people
maybe do a quick
on Instagram. I've had quite a few questions for you.
Really?
Yeah.
From my followers or your followers?
I don't know. Like, some of the just people, like, I did like stories last week where I, you know, just asked, have you got any questions for Michelle? And then
do a quick.
As I post, I just,
hey guys, live now with Will Clapson, Jack in the Water on Twitch. Click the link in my bio. Here we are. We're chatting about all things music, the creative process. So click the link in my bio, and you'll be able to see. I put the YouTube link in my bio. That works, right?
Yeah, both of them will.
Yeah. Click the link in my bio so you can come and see what we're doing. Love you. And you'll be able to see. I put
Love that little insight into your social media.
Gosh, do you know, it's something that like didn't always come naturally to me. Like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like it either comes naturally to some people and not to others. But I wasn't someone who, I basically had to get into the habit of thinking content, content, content. So even when I'm in the studio being like, let's get a picture, or even on a night out being like, let's get a picture, or even on a day where I've got like, you know, a particular, like a more of a swaggy outfit on, being like, hey mom, can you snap a picture?
Yeah.
Because that just wouldn't be my natural. Yeah, it just wasn't something that I would be thinking to do otherwise.
Yeah. I'm
It's
the
a habit.
same. Yeah. Like having to do it. I have to just set reminders to do it. I feel like some people just naturally, like maybe younger generations, like my cousins. I feel like they're pretty good at like they just like post everything they do. Like, and not I feel like
Mm,
in kind of a tasteful way. But
mm,
yeah. But they're just natural at it. Whereas for me, it's just like having to remember to share aspects, like, and just create content. I
mm.
feel like to make it interesting for people, because I feel like, oh, what is? I think it does just come naturally for people, for some people.
Also, when I'm in the studio, I don't know about you, but when I'm in the studio, when I'm on a video set, the last thing I'm thinking about is like snapping pictures to show someone else. Like I'm so immersed in the moment, like I'm so in the song. Like earlier on today, I didn't actually get any pictures. In fact, as I was walking back to the station, the guy who was recording my vocal was like, "Oh, we didn't even take any pictures," and I
Yeah,
was like, yeah, did not occur to me. I had my phone right there. I was on my phone at points briefly, but it didn't occur to me, oh, fuck, iPhone, social media, snap something. Because just so in the song, just like, you know what I mean? Like that's what it's about rather than like showing it before it's done.
yeah,
But
yeah. Oh, someone called Fraser has just said hi. Fraser Dickinson.
oh, hey Fraser, how are you? Fraser's really sweet. Like he's a supporter, I think. I think he heard Black Lolita on the Skin's radio show, you know, Skin
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Skunk Anansie. She played Black Lolita on November the 6th. It was a Sunday, I'll never forget. She played it on her show on Absolute Radio. And there were a few people that like started following me off the back of that.
yeah,
And
yeah.
Fraser's one, Fraser Dickinson. I hope you are, Fraser, and enjoying the
Yeah,
sunshine. Thanks for all your support and stuff.
yeah. If you've got any
You should come to the show,
questions,
actually. Pardon?
I was just saying, if you've got any questions or anyone has any questions, you can just type in the comments. But a few people have messaged on Instagram, so I thought I would get into the questions.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess this is kind of they're all kind of for both of us, I guess. But I feel like I'll let you lead. Someone's asked, "What's the most difficult part of making music?" And I guess they mean like the writing of music. I guess we've talked about the struggles of being an artist, but like
Oh, they mean like writing.
yeah, like the making, the actual creating part. What's the most difficult thing for you? Do you think?
I feel sometimes working under pressure can be difficult. I feel like oftentimes what can become difficult about the creative, if we're talking about the creative and not the business side and not having a team, yada yada, if we're talking about the creative, oftentimes I feel like the any difficulties that arise can be self-imposed. So like if suddenly you start thinking about, oh, what works for radio,
Yeah,
or oh, but what do people want to hear right now? Do you know what I mean? Like grime is taking off. Maybe we need to throw in a fucking, you know, trap beat because grime is taking off. Or Lady Gaga's huge on the radio right now, so it has to be forced to floor electro pop if it's not current. Or Afro beats really in right now. You know, I should get a Burna Boy sound alike to be on this track, even though it doesn't make sense of what I do artistically. So I feel like anything that would be any difficulties that one would find creatively would be when you go out of alignment of being an artist and you start thinking, when you start focusing, because obviously you've got to have some kind of thought about the commercial side or business side if you're going to be putting music out in the world for people to buy. But I think when you start focusing on that, that can bring difficulty and that can be toxic. That's when you're thinking about algorithms and you're thinking about maths, and there's nothing mathematical or scientific about the creative process.
yeah,
Do you understand what I mean? So yeah, I guess, you know, the only times that I've ever found personal difficulty with creating, and it's not happened like probably only 2 or 3 times, is when you know, I've stepped outside of myself a little bit, or let someone get in my ear or get in my head, and I've started to be too analytical about what's commercial and but does that work for radio or this or that. You know, those are the only times. And then I very quickly like managed to recenter myself because that's not innate, as I say, it's when someone has got into my ear. What
yeah.
about you?
No, that's interesting because I hadn't thought about. I was gonna like when I was thinking about the question, I was like, the sometimes when you've got like an idea and you can't quite get it through to the end, or like, but a lot of the times, like, I'm scared of writing bad music, which I'm trying to get out of the habit of. Not bad music sounds, but just music that like, I do, and I kind of think it's an element of that. Like, I feel like I'm always worrying about the chorus being like good enough. But I don't know, like, and then I think there's so many songs that I like that the chorus isn't like that catchy, or it's not like this powerful chorus. But I'm always in my head thinking, this has got to be like a powerful chorus, so this has got to be like this. And I think like sometimes
Your choruses are incredible.
Huh?
Your choruses are incredible.
Oh well, thank you. But I think it's something that I worry about a lot. Is like, and I think it is kind of like what you're saying about it fitting into this product of like, what does what music should I be making? Like, I'm worried about it all fitting together, or that it's going to fit into this like neat little package. And sometimes it can be like the opposition of creativity when you have this perceived idea of exactly how you want it to end. Like,
you get rid of some of the freedom.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Jackson, who's my all-time, I don't know if you know this, people might not know this, I've been asked it in a couple of my IG lives when I was doing them. I need to get back on them. But, you know, people ask me who my all-time favorite artist is. My all-time favorite artist is actually Michael Jackson. He's by actually a clear mile, like more than Beyonce, more than Mariah. He is my all-time, just, I worship him. I have his posters and I worship him. And I do think he's the greatest ever. And he said, like, the number one mistake a musician can make is to get in the way of the music. He was like, you know, I always say, get out of the way of the music. Let the music write itself. It's like when because he spoke about dance as well. He related to dance. He said, you can always tell when you watch someone dancing, you know, whether he or her is going and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, and they're counting, when really dancing is about you become the music. If there's a driving bass line, you become the bass line. If there's a body of strings, you become that. So obviously, like, as artists, when we're writing music as well, the instant you get in your head about it, you're stepping in the way of the music. You know what I mean? It's like it's a flow of the river, and you're putting a great big rock in the flow of the river, and the water just starts going like that. So yeah, a lot of the time it's getting in our own way.
No, that's a great shout from Michael Jackson. He is the king of pop. He is like, it's crazy how many songs he wrote like in such a relatively short space of time. It's mad. Like, and I feel like he's someone as well that I always think about whenever I'm like trying to write songs, and I think like, oh, this needs to have more chords or something, like. And then I just think of all the songs that he's done were like so simple, but he just can like float these melodies and like
moves.
It's crazy.
Oh my gosh, who's your favorite? Your all-time favorite?
It's difficult. Yeah, I think it's difficult, but like I mean, one of my favorite artists of all time is Bjork. I love the way that she sings and makes music. Like, it's strange because I feel like my music isn't anything like hers. But not that even. I guess your music isn't. I feel like someone asked about. I was talking about you at the start, and I was saying like that I couldn't quite put my finger on like your main influence. It's not, you know, like some people you listen to and you think, oh yeah, they're clearly influenced by that person.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's only when you've said to me, like when we've chatted, oh yeah, I could, you know, I'm a big fan of Lana Del Rey or this, or like. And I start thinking, oh yeah, I could kind of hear that, but nothing's is very.
Still not explicit.
Yeah, it's not clear, and I feel like Michael Jackson, as you said it, I was like, I wouldn't have thought of it, but I can hear like there's a certain drama in your voice that I feel like could come from Michael. That I feel like he's.
The guy who was recording my vocal today said that because he was asking me about my background. I said, your voice is very unique. Like, what's your background? I said, well, I'm a concert level opera singer. You know, I went right up to grade 8 and passed. I almost did my diploma, but I chose not to, in opera singing. So if you listen, he was like, oh, actually it does come through. I said, yeah, it's not overt, but the instant I say that's my training, people are like, of course I can hear that. And some people even pick up on it before I've even mentioned that. And he said, and also like your voice is quite theatrical, which makes sense because I did musical theatre. I was a drama student. So yeah, and I nearly went on to study joint honours music and drama, classical music and drama at uni. Then I opted to just study music. So yeah, so it's interesting what does come through. And it also, I sang a certain line giving a bit away. I said, "Skin the color of the night sky in wintertime, and it's summertime." It's a line from the song.
Oh, wow,
And when I sang it, he said, "Oh, you sound a bit like Bjork there."
really?
Yeah, yeah. When I put out my first single, I don't listen to Bjork, but I know obviously she's iconic, whatever, obviously fantastic artist. But when I released my first single a few years ago, I got a few comparisons to Bjork then, and I haven't got any since. But
Yeah.
just with that single, and I think it might have been something of what I was doing with my vocal in the verses. I don't know if you've heard my song "Sleep Through the Fire,"
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
got just a couple.
No,
But since then,
I can definitely hear the opera. I guess it's like it's the way you pronounce certain words as well that doesn't like, I don't know, almost it does feel like classic, and it's like, which is cool, but it's like mixed between like this kind of almost like classical operatic language, and then
mm,
like going from away from it as well. So I guess more like
mm,
not pop
yeah, yeah.
vocal. Pop vocal seems a bit like, I feel like that feels a bit
I
too
know what you
fresh.
mean though.
But
It
yeah,
just it weaves in and out. It weaves in and out.
I guess that kind of leads on to another question, which I guess is probably is Michael Jackson. But what? Who are your biggest influences?
Mm. Um. Yeah. So I
Like
mean, I
top
just
three, if you had to go.
Oh, top three. This thing, I won't call them influences, although I guess what we love inspires us, right? But so there's nobody that I consciously draw on. And I don't say that to be like, oh, wow, look at me. It's just there's nobody that I consciously draw on. And actually, I think that's the case of a lot of artists. A lot of people say that they're influenced by people, but they don't consciously draw on them. They just mean they're inspired by them.
Yeah,
You can be inspired by a painting, you can be inspired by a conversation. So, but in regards to inspirations, like Michael Jackson, um Beyonce. Like I remember the first time I watched the Homecoming documentary on Netflix. Every time I watch a documentary, I want to fucking cry. The first time I watched that, and do you know why you cry? And a lot of people have said that. It's not just me being weepy, which I am. I'm very emotional. But a lot of people said when they first watched it that they cried. Women, especially who love her, black women. It's just the work ethic. Like aside from that performance was perfect. As in, she didn't miss a note, didn't miss a step. It's almost like a robot in regards to how perfect she is. Um, but yeah, like watching the just her process and like her work ethic and how she pushes herself. Every time I see Beyonce perform, I want to get in rehearsal. Do you
yeah.
know what I mean? And Michael Jackson for me, in regards to just like an all-round writer, producer, dancer, singer, um, uh, showmanship, performance, choreo, like artistic mind, and also like Mariah Carey. And yeah, I learned to sing listening to Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
She's just like her voice is an instrument. It's an instrument. It's an
It's
instrument.
it is crazy what she can do with her voice.
Yeah, she's not human.
I know. Like those
Yeah.
whistle notes. Have you ever been able to do those? Like the
No, I wish.
crazy.
My older sister, who's not my older sister's a lawyer, um, and she used to have the whistle register when we were young because we all sang.
Yeah, yeah,
I've got two sisters and a brother. My brother didn't sing, but me and my sister certainly. My mum put us in vocal classes all together when I was for my 5th birthday. As a birthday present for me, she enrolled us in vocal classes with a lady called Mary. I'll never forget it. We went along every Saturday, and my mum's name is also Mary, and so this was another Mary who was a white woman. I think based in South London somewhere. I'm from South London, and my mum had found her name. I don't know where, and got in touch with her. And Mary had been like, "Oh, how young are your daughters?" My mum was like, "They're like 3 and 5 and 7." And the lady was like, "Oh, I don't teach anyone younger than 16." And my mum was like, "Please, like, they love like honestly, like you should hear them sing and stuff." Um, so yeah, I tend to ramble a lot. But my older sister did have the whistle register,
yeah.
but it's gone now.
What just
It
because of
goes. If you
like?
don't practice, it goes.
Yeah, I guess it's such a strange part of the. I don't even know where it comes from. It's like
Mm.
I don't even in your head. I don't know. I guess.
Yeah, my older sister Heaven says that you feel it in your head. Mariah Carey says she feels it in here, like it rings up here, you know.
Yeah, that's mad.
So,
Oh, I've had a question from Maurice Ashby for you.
oh, hi, Maurice.
Um,
Oh,
he said, Michelle, where does your, I guess it kind of leads on to this, like, where does your passion to sing stem from in life?
You know, I've always been a communicator. As you can probably tell, I'm quite chatty. You know, I've always got something to say. I've got something to say about everything. I think really deeply about things, too deeply. Like my mind is my best friend, my worst enemy. It really is. It really is. Like, you know, it could land me in a psychiatric ward or like take me to places beyond my wildest dreams. You know, it just depends what I choose to do with it. So I've always been a communicator. You know, even before I started talking, my mum says that I would sit there and go blah 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 like when I was a baby. So I couldn't even talk about blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Just like making noises with my mouth. I think all of us as artists, we have that in us. It's like that desire to like want to connect, to like, you know, like throw something out into the universe and hope that someone catches it and throws it back, you know, to emote. So singing is communication, you know, even if you're not singing words, just melody, you know. It reminds me of like, you know, when you're in vocal class, when you're young, or singing class or whatever, and they talk about call and response. And when they refer to call and response, they're not referring to anything that's being said. They're referring to the shape of the melody, like ah, you know what I mean? So it's communicating through sound, really. That's what made me want to sing. It was always there. I don't remember not singing.
Yeah. Do you sing like? Because This is one thing that I got asked the other day, and I wondered with you. Do you sing like when you're not like writing? Like if you were at home, would you just be like singing to other people's music? Do you sing along to it, or like do you sing in the shower or something like?
You know, more when I was a lot younger.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Not so much as I've grown up. More when I was a lot younger. I don't sing around the house that much, you know. It's interesting. I love music. I mean, I listen to music every day. I'm always listening to music. Music is always in me, but I don't know. What about you? Are you a shower singer?
Nah, like rarely. Like almost even like karaoke. I'm kind of embarrassed about like it's weird as like a singer. Like if someone hears me singing, I'm like, oh, like even like because I record in like in a flat essentially, so there's like people at the side. I try and be like respectful of time and stuff, but every now and then I'll like hear someone. I was like, oh, I'll stop recording now. Shouldn't sing anymore. It's weird. Like on the stage or like in a studio, it's fine, but like for some reason, if I feel like someone hears me singing, I definitely get like I don't really sing in the car. Like I feel like that it's where I used to when I was younger. I'd sing like driving around because that was the only time you were completely alone, really. But nah.
And the thing is, once people know that you know how to sing, they always want you to do it. So I was that child in school. You become like the performing monkey. I was that child in school because I was always singing in talent shows, and not toot my own horn, but you know, winning talent shows and always singing, always singing. Obviously, then I was in The Lion King in the West End when I was 12. I was Nala, obviously a main character. For any like American viewers, our West End is like your Broadway, because I know Maurice is from the States. So Maurice Ashby. So yeah, it was just that thing of literally I'd just be on my way to class or whatever, on my way to, you know, lessons, and oh my God, you're that guy on The Lion King, can you sing? You know, and people say to you, they know you can sing or that you enjoy it or you're half decent at it, and then it's just always think of, oh, sing something, like you can just, you know, pluck a song out of the air, and you know, and that's why I always say I never do that. And if I'm ever around and like I see that occurring, I'm like, nah, leave her, guys, or leave him, guys, because I know what it is to be that person where you're just there enjoying your pint or just, you know, fucking walking your, you know what I mean, and people just think you can just just start singing, and then you never even know what song to sing.
Yeah, and singing a cappella is like, I don't know, it's just it is a weird thing. It's like I feel like people don't do that with, you know, like plumbers.
Anything else?
Or like, I don't know, like
dancing.
Yeah, just like, or an artist, like, you know, painter. I feel like just because you are a singer and you can just like deliver it there, like,
people think, go on.
Yeah, but no, I find it like, I remember did it once. Like I went out with some, like a person I didn't really know, like just I was trying to make friends when I first moved to Mallorca, and there happened to be a guitar there, and they found out that I was a musician. Oh, we'll play us a song. I was like, oh, I haven't played, you know, I haven't like played live for a while, and I was trying to make all these excuses, and in the end, I just gave in, and it was so bad. It was really bad. Like my voice was all over the place. Like I couldn't even remember.
Oh, sure, you sounded beautiful.
But no, it was horrible. And they like were really nice, obviously. But like, I just thought, oh, I wish that wasn't a thing that had to happen. Where it's like, oh, you play.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they won't let up. They're like, no, go on. Oh, go on. You got an amazing voice. Go on. All that whole thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Marie said West End equals Broadway. Check. Lol.
Oh, yeah, that's like our version, the UK
Yeah.
version of like Broadway. Yeah, yeah.
Well, there's more questions. I thought like we should get through them all. Um, yeah, this I guess we've kind of mentioned this, but it was what artists do you get compared to the most, and which ones do you like and which ones do you dislike? That's a good question.
It's a very good question, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get compared to Kate Bush, Lana Del Rey, um, here and there. You know, a lot of the time people will be like, "Oh, I can't think you're like actually you're completely unique," which is a compliment. But then it also means I'm not for everyone. But yeah, Kate Bush, Lana Del Rey, both of which I welcome. I mean, I've never got super into Kate Bush's music, not because I listened to it and didn't like it, just because I never really sat down to listen to it. I've heard the obvious ones like Wuthering Heights, Running Up That Hill, which is one of the greatest songs ever written, in my humble opinion. Lana Del Rey, oh my gosh. I mean, if you want to talk about someone whose songwriting so like inspires me, from when I listen to like a Lana Del Rey song, I want to sit down and write a song. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's one like when I watch Beyonce, I want to go to rehearsal. When I listen to Lana Del Rey's lyrics, I want to get out my pen and paper or phone or whatever the fuck and write. Like her way of like telling a story, and she's created this world around herself. You know, like it's like a world around her. Like she exists in a world of her own. So I welcome that. The only comparisons I don't like is when it's just really, really lazy, you know, and when you can tell people haven't really thought about what it is that they're saying and they're just being lazy. Like when people have compared me to Grace Jones. I mean,
Grace Jones.
I wish I was Grace Jones. You know, I want to be Grace Jones when I finally grow up. Do you know what I mean? She's legend, icon, whatever, incredible woman, Black woman. Yeah, phenomenal. But it's like, it's very clear you're only saying that because I'm a bit alternative and I've got dark skin and cheekbones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sonically, we are completely different. Or I've had a couple of people mention Laura Mvula. I mean, I wish I was as gifted as Laura Mvula, but our music is nothing alike. We're just both Black women from the UK with dark skin tones.
Yeah. Do you get that a lot? Like, I imagine that's something like that a lot of people must get. Like when they have quite a unique look, or when people like, I guess there's not been, I don't know, enough like women that look like you know, like in the, so that there's this like slim picking, so that's just they just naturally just like pigeonhole you into this look. Whereas with me, white guy with a beard, thousands of them. Like they could go, you know, like there's loads of us singing.
More to pick like, from compared to.
But do you get that like those kind of lazy?
Yeah, you know what? It depends who I'm talking to. So I find from like people, because I say Black Lolita, thank God, you know, through God's grace, I started to get supporters off the back of it. It's not heaps of them, but they exist now. They didn't before. And, you know, like my supporters, they're young, arty kids, very switched on. A lot of them fans of Lana Del Rey, Nicki Minaj, Gaga, you know, people like that. And they never make lazy comparisons. If they do make a comparison, not the time they don't even, but if they do, you know, it's ones that make sense to me, or, you know, people that I do listen to. So I feel the people who matter to me, the people that my music is made for, which is, you know, young people into pop alternative music, they never make such lazy comparisons. It tends to be like, you know, older, uncool men on the business side of things who would put out such ridiculous comparisons. I had to say to one guy to his face, and I didn't say it in a combative manner, but I thought, you know what, let's open the dialogue. People are posting black squares and shit, you know, Black Square Summer. I had to say to him, would you compare me to Laura Mvula if I wasn't black? I had to ask.
What did he say?
You know, and, you know, fair play to him. He thought about it. He didn't just rush him. He didn't go bright red and immediately go, no, of course, you know, it's something to do with that. He actually thought about it, which, you know, I rated him for. And he was like, maybe not, probably not. And I was like, okay, thanks for answering honestly. But I think I kind of got him thinking.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's like sometimes the comparison, it would be like if I compared, say, it would be like if I compared Dua Lipa to Lana Del Rey. Yeah. All they've got in common is they're both beautiful white brunettes. That's it. You know what I mean? And people would never, ever, ever make that comparison. But it's the same thing when you compare me, you know, the artist Michelle Faith, to Laura Mvula. It's that same disconnect of comparison. Like nothing that we do sonically is similar,
Yeah.
you know.
No,
So
I feel like obviously, in addition to the fact that you're black, I feel like it must happen a lot with women as well. Like
mm,
when they're focusing on like the visual, like on how they look,
mm,
like as like it's kind of, I don't know, you just don't get that with guys,
men.
which
Yeah.
is shit. Like,
What comparisons do you get that irk you? Do you get compared to Ed
mm,
Sheeran?
no, not so much. But more recently, like it's not that it bothers me. I think it's more that I'm like almost, I wouldn't consider myself like a super, like Coldplay. I get a lot. Like I know Coldplay are okay, but I wouldn't. I think it's
No.
more that like just slightly measurable, slightly poppy songs. Like I don't know. I feel like that's the
But
comparison. Or
you don't sound like Coldplay. Again, you're just both
yeah,
very gifted, but
I
it's lazy.
I think it's those ones like, or Tom Walker. Like I got him like
Mm,
recently. Like, and I get because and I feel like there is the market is saturated with
yeah.
like white guys with beards singing like emotional songs and stuff. So it's like
Mm,
it's
pianos.
yeah, and I feel like like Tom Odell. He's one actually that I really like
He's
that I
good.
get compared to a lot. And like he's kind of one of those guys where he like he makes pop music, but it's like interesting and like
Bumper.
emotive.
Yeah.
Like whereas I feel like not that Coldplay isn't interesting. I used to listen to them quite a lot when I was younger, but it just that
Chris Martin is a very good songwriter.
yeah.
He's a very good songwriter.
But I think that one for some reason bothers. Maybe it's because it's like Coldplay aren't considered to be that cool, you know. Like so, it's just like
That's a lazy comparison. That's the thing.
yeah,
Like the comparisons that bother me, they bother me because they're lazy. It's not because I'm at all offended. I mean, who wouldn't want to be compared to Grace Jones?
yeah,
Like if it was valid. But for me, you know what? It's like she wouldn't be offended by that because then well, she probably would because she's like, who's this Michelle Faith girl? But she wouldn't be offended because she's like a huge whatever. But and she knows that people see her and whatever. But with me, it just makes me feel like, gosh, this person isn't paying attention at all, or they're not seeing me, they're not hearing me at all, even whilst they listen to my song or watch my video. You know,
yeah.
it's like feeling not seen when
No,
people make comparisons like that.
no, I get that. Like yeah, but no, I'd say like because who would like when you've said people have compared you to Kate Bush, Lana Del Rey, like would you like? Because I hadn't thought of Kate Bush before, like, but I can see
Mm.
it. I think because I guess that you could almost consider it a lazy comparison in that she's got quite an operatic voice, like you know,
Yeah,
like, but actually musically it's very different. But I guess that's the whole point of like
yeah,
people love to
comparison.
try and compare you to others. But yeah, that was a good question. Can't remember who wrote that, but another question, which kind of both of us, is how did you guys first find out about each other's music?
Mm.
How did
Well, I found out because I don't know if Angus Blair is on this call. Is he watching? Maybe not.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Um, hey, boo. No, I'm joking. Um, yeah, no, basically Angus Blair, who runs the label that we're assigned to, a really amazing label called Network. Angus Blair runs it in the UK, and Angus Blair was following him on Twitter at the time, and he had posted a link. He was always posting Will's links, Jack in Water, and I heard Will sing. I just thought, oh my God, this boy's voice is just, whoo, does something to like it just hit me in the gut. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like I felt it in my gut basically. And I even wanted to come to your show, and then I think there was a good reason as to why I couldn't come. Um, yeah, so that was how I first, and I've forgotten the first song that I heard. But I just thought your songwriting, your voice, that your voice has like a fragile power to it.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, I remember because I was thinking I got I kind of answered it a little bit at the start before you joined, but I after you got kind of because you reached out and I remember that I recognised. I think the first thing I watched was Lemonade, but before that I realised that I'd heard a song of yours before that was on
Mm.
a singer called Benedict Cork.
Mm.
He had done a playlist, and I was trying to wrap my brains which song it was, but it was White Lies, Red Wine. Was it on this playlist?
Did you put that on his playlist?
Ages ago, yeah. I'm pretty sure it was him. I don't know how I also
didn't
would have
know.
heard the song, but I remember hearing it
Wow.
and thinking, "Wow, like what's this?" And then,
Oh,
and I only remembered that I listened to like your tracks again recently, like going through the back catalogue. I remember the song came on, and I kind of looked back, and I don't even think he has any playlists anymore. But I remember that was the first song that I heard of yours, and that was before.
mm,
Like that must have been back. What was
James
that? 2017. When did it come
15,
out? 2016.
2017, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
a while ago. But I never like it was kind of I listened to the playlist and didn't really like. It was just in the background. I didn't like see who it was. But I remember thinking,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah.
no,
And then you messaged me, do you remember? And then we were friends on I put in a friend request for you on Facebook and you accepted. And then you messaged me after you had Bloomsbury Hotel saying, Michelle, just listening to your new EP, and your Bloomsbury Hotel was like, my gosh, like,
yeah,
moved me like close to tears. But it meant so much to me, like you saying that to me basically. Oh my God, anytime anyone tells me anything nice about my music, honestly, it means so much to me.
yeah. It is.
But
I feel like that's a good point. Like, because I'm always a bit like wary of reaching out to people, like and saying like, especially other. I don't know, like, I think it's only ever a good thing. No one's. If you ever had anyone reach out and say nice things about music that you've like gone, oh, wish you hadn't said that. Like, I feel like, but it is like, I kind of not avoid it, but I feel like sometimes wary of like, doing it. But do you ever? I guess it's what I'm trying to say is anyone's watching, always say nice things.
yeah.
If you.
Oh,
think
please,
them,
yeah. Like, don't be shy. Honestly, I welcome it because I don't, especially when I'm not known. I don't hear it enough. Like, I, welcome more nice things said about my music,
Yeah.
and that's why it's been so nice putting out Black Lolita and starting to get supporters and support and like people talking about it and stuff, and like just getting that social media side of things going a lot more, Will, because yeah, honestly, sometimes those messages, like the messages that I receive, they can brighten my day.
Yeah.
And really, that's what I do it for. I don't
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
it so that a man in a suit sat in a record label somewhere can decide whether I'm more like Laura Mvula than Kate Bush, or can't make his mind up, or doesn't know if I'd work on the radio. That's not who I care about. That's not who I'm making music for, honestly. I'm making it for, people who like just listen to it and they feel something. I don't know, it makes them feel something, or it changes their perspective about like what it means to be like a Black woman in the pop music space, or a lyric that pricks. I had someone, I forget what his name. It's a guy again from the States, young kid, and he's become a supporter of the Black Lolita. And he messaged to be like, he replied to a random story of mine being like, I love you, listen to Black Lolita again yesterday, and actually listen to the lyrics and realize what it's about. And it just, made me love it even more,
Yeah.
just like that message. I don't know.
Now
Yeah.
that song and video is like I can see why it has like done so well for you. Like it's an incredible song. Like and I
Thank
feel like
you.
it's articulated something that happens a lot, like
Mhm.
and I feel
Yeah.
like there's not enough like music that's written about that. And so yeah, it's well deserved. I hope it's like the start of many
Me
like
too.
highly responsive like videos.
Oh, I hope so. I
songs.
pray. God willing. Yeah.
So do you know when your next song might be out, like, or when the next when we might?
Yeah, this thing again, like not having a team, things keep getting pushed back. I mean, I wanted out in June. Not gonna happen now. But over the next couple of months, I'm gonna have a visual and a song.
Yeah.
And it's an important song to me. And it will speak to a group of people that I wanted to speak to.
Yeah.
It's quite timely. And I tap into like obviously I'm half Nigerian, half Ugandan. So I tap a little bit into those without giving too much away, but
Yeah.
I tap quite explicitly into it. And I'm really just at a place where more than ever I really want to empower women and empower Black women. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know what it is, but I just feel like I don't want to say responsibility to do that. It's just happening innately. It's not even thought out. I just love women. I love Black women. I think women are like incredible. The fact that they create life, bring life forth.
Yeah. It is. It's mad.
Yeah. It is, you know, like it's magic, it's a miracle.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm pumped to hear it. And I
what
guess
about
like,
you?
when's my next thing coming out?
Yeah.
Well, I've have a music video will be coming out in the next few weeks for you.
Mm,
Um,
it's
and
exciting.
then I have announced my album. It's going to come out on the 27th of August.
Oh,
Yeah.
you were meant to send me that for a sneak listen if you didn't.
No,
Maybe you don't want to anymore.
no, I will. I will. I will. Like, I definitely will.
Do you have the title?
Yeah, it's "You Don't Feel Like Home." It was like one of the first singles that I released. I've
Yeah.
called it that.
One of my favorite songs of yours. Oh, I love that song.
But
And the video.
yeah, no, I loved doing that. That was again, that was one of those like two videos that it just took it out of me. Like,
Tuh. When you were swimming,
yeah, isn't it
I was
like,
like, child.
yeah, that was, and it was crazy. The most difficult thing about that video was the editing, because that I edited all the videos myself pretty much, and that beach that we went to was a nudist beach, and so I was like the only person with clothes on. I didn't realize it was a nudist beach, but there was so many people just kept swimming into shot, and so I just edited so many like, naked people
So
out of
many
it.
naked people.
Yeah,
Oh
like
my goodness
it
me.
took me hours.
You've
It was
added
like,
another dynamic to the video if
yeah,
you'd kept that in.
it would definitely change it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would give it a different vibe. But yeah, I've got the album coming out 27th of August. I think it's
I cannot wait.
and then probably another single before then as well.
How many tracks is the album?
10.
That's a good length.
I've really milked all the singles from it. I've done like 6 singles out of a 10.
But you know what? Me and my older sister were talking about how, like, obviously it's a strategy thing. Again, it's that algorithm thing, that business commerce thing, where like a lot of artists are putting out albums that are 18, 19, 20, 21 tracks. And it's not because the fan thinks, oh, she loves us, he loves us so much, he wants us to get all these songs. But even people like Nicki Minaj have said, well, the more songs, the more like streams, and so you know the bit better the album does with first week sales, and you can be breaking records by charting 10 in the top 20 at once, and all this shit that's going on now with bigger artists. But actually it's so hard to sustain unless you are a musical genius. It's so hard to sustain quality across 20 tracks. If you think about, like, even my favorite album of all time is Bad by Michael Jackson, and he was objectively a musical genius, and that album has 11 tracks on it. Or if you think about like Janet Jackson's The Velvet Rope, things like, you know, things like that. I think it's like 13 tracks and then like 4 interludes, so that doesn't count. But you know what I mean? Like, just the best albums that I can think of, with the exception of The Emancipation of Mimi by Mariah Carey, like they tend to be like no more than 14 tracks. So like I'm all here for me. Like when I make my first album, whenever that is, it'll be 10, 11 tracks.
Yeah. No, I think it's like for me, it's the perfect length for an album to listen all the way through. Like,
yes.
Yeah. There was a lot of that didn't get on it as well, though.
Like,
it's like condensing all of the faff down to like 10. Hopefully strong songs.
What's your favorite song on it? You Don't Feel Like Home, or maybe not?
There's a song that isn't out yet, and hasn't been out, called Unconditional Love. And it's kind of a love song I wrote for my best friend called Ollie. And that's I think like, because I've obviously written like love songs and stuff before, but it was the first one that I'd wanted to do this song and write this kind of song for him for ages, and it was like the first one I've ever done and I'm releasing, so I'm most excited. It's really my favourite song.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it.
Because a lot of the songs are quite not sad, but they're about like trauma or like kind of overcoming things in the past. Whereas like this song is like, I don't know, a little positive nugget from childhood. Like meeting him. But yeah, I feel like that's all of the kind of perfect timing to wrap it up. I was going to ask if you'd be cool with, I've been told that I don't know if it's my internet or something or my computer, but we've been dropping some frames, so I'll check it. But would you be cool with keeping it up on YouTube? So people can watch it like afterwards.
How do I keep it up on YouTube? What do you mean?
It happens. I automatically you kind of opt out of it or opt in. So yeah, it will just go onto my YouTube
Oh,
channel.
okay. Oh yeah, sure,
Yeah.
yeah, of course. I was wondering what you meant by keep up on YouTube. I was like, am I meant to go to YouTube now? Or
No, no.
yeah,
You
but
don't have
yeah,
to do
no, keep
anything.
it on your channel. Yeah, and then I'll keep it in my bio and people can go watch.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks very much for like coming home from recording to speak to me. I hope it goes
Yeah,
well
let me
tomorrow.
see. Wait, let me see who's on. I'm trying to see who's on because I couldn't see Maurice's name or anything.
Yeah, he was on YouTube.
Oh, so where's the YouTube link? Let me click on the YouTube link. I think most people will be on YouTube. Let me click on the YouTube link and see. This whole time, that's probably why I couldn't see. I was trying to look at Twitch, and I'd obviously put the YouTube link in my bio. Silly me. Oh, wait. Oh, here it is. It's Twitch, and I'd obviously put the YouTube link in my bio.
Oh yeah. No.
Oh, there we go. Oh, bless. Okay, I can see. Yeah, let's keep it.
Cool.
Let's keep it on YouTube.
Awesome. Well, yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Always lovely to talk to you, Will.
You too. And
Let me know when you're in London. We'll link up.
we will. We will. I hope that I can come to London eventually, after all this
I know.
disaster is over.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Another month.
Yeah.
Yeah, another month. Being extended. Did you hear about that?
Yeah. Into like July 21st or something. Like.
Yeah. What about in Spain?
I mean, we're still way behind on vaccines.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to be under house arrest a little longer, I feel.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Vil?
Well, thanks to everyone that's watched and will watch this. If you have any more questions, just send us a message, and I'm sure Michelle will be happy to answer them.
Yeah. Thank you, anyone who's tuned in. I put it up quite short notice. So thanks to anyone who did tune in.
Yeah.
We love you all. Thank you for your support, and just keep it locked. Keep sharing the love, and just keep spreading our music and everything, and talking to us on socials, and let us know. Drop us messages if you like our songs, because it makes our day.
It does. Right. Well, I'm gonna stop the stream.